All right, everybody. We're at the top of the hour, and we're going to go ahead and get started here with the 2022 CNHP Partners Meeting. So we've got an exciting day ahead of us here with you. And this is our first post-pandemic meeting. This meeting, as many of you who were here last time will recall, bookends the pandemic almost perfectly because it was a couple of days after the 2020 partners meeting that everything shut down, and it's been in pandemic mode for the last couple of years, and here we are. We get to meet with you again, as if it never happened. None of us are deluding ourselves about that. I wanted to also tell you about a little change to the partners meeting this year. We added an apostrophe at the end of the word partners. We're totally copying the Wyoming Natural Diversity Database and doing that because the spirit of this meeting is that it belongs to you. So we did not correctly have the ownership of this meeting described in the name as it was. So it is now the partners meeting with an apostrophe after a partners. So welcome everybody. We have a lot of guests who are joining us this year in our hybrid format online. So welcome to all of you. In just a few minutes, we're going to ask you to introduce yourselves a little bit later on in the program in the spirit of creating a stronger and better network of professionals among ourselves. And so I'll go ahead and get you kind of grounded here in our physical space. We are wanting to keep everybody safe in our current stage of the pandemic. We have masks at the welcome table. There's masks in the CSU bookstore for free as well if you wish to get one of those. There's no stigma to wearing a mask during this event. I had told you I was going to wear a mask and I changed my mind because I don't want to. So, but I think as we did last time, I'm going to invite Anessa up to the podium here with me. And let's just show, so you don't have to shake hands if you're not comfortable doing that. You can elbow bump, you can fist bump. Any of those are perfectly acceptable greetings. There's no disrespect to someone else in not shaking their hand at this event. We want to respect everybody's levels of comfort here with the pandemic. Want to make sure everyone knows where the bathrooms are. If you go take a left outside of the ballroom and go to the end of the hall where things fork, the closest one is to your right. There's another one set of bathrooms to your left. So we also have lactation rooms here in the building at the end of the hall. And just to the right, if those are needed, there's AEDs. There's one just outside of the ballroom on the left. We're also going to be using these microphones so that everybody online can hear us as we go around the room and introduce ourselves. Sloan just showed me how this works. You turn this on and it takes a minute for it to boot up. And then when you speak into these microphones, if anyone has questions or when they're introducing themselves, everyone online will be able to hear what you're saying as well. So, if you wish to log on to the Wi-Fi network here in the Laurie Student Center, use the CSU guest login, and that is going to work great for you. So I also forgot to mention that we have all gender bathrooms in the building as well. So those are also out down the hall and on the left. So I've invited Anessa Keys, a student working at our program, to deliver the land acknowledgement for us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anessa Keys. I am a work study student at CNHP. Nice to be here. Colorado State University acknowledged with respect that the land that we're on today is a traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute Nation and peoples. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other Native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all relatives within it. As these words of I'm sorry. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the Thais nation have to their traditional homelands and renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land grant institution, and we accept that as our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion, and significantly that our founding came to a dire cost to the Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anessa. So we have an ambitious agenda here with you today. I'm going to boogie through my slides to make sure that I don't pinch anybody in their time. So first, I'm going to give you an introduction to the day. In just a moment, we're going to welcome our Dean, John Hayes, up to say a few words with you. Then we're going to do a little tradition at the partners meeting of going around the room to introduce ourselves, and then go into our program updates from some of our partners. The day is engineered to give you lots of time to meet each other. I'm sorry that there's so many of you online who won't be able to participate in all of these things, so I encourage you to freely reach out to everyone who's here using the information that I've sent out with the agenda and everything of contact information for us. So in keeping with our superhero theme of the afternoon workshop, I wanted to let everyone know, especially our speakers, that Susan Punjabi is going to be a timekeeper for us. Most of our speakers are going to have about 5 minutes to give short updates about their programs and our collaborations. So want to acknowledge the efforts that everybody has put into making this day happen, starting with our Dean, John Hayes. All of our speakers today, thank you so much for joining us to do that. Our staff who have given a very heavy lift to pull this off. And the thought leaders on doing partners meetings in the first place are the Montana Natural Heritage Program, Bryce Maxwell, Alan Cox, and Wyoming Natural Diversity Database Director, Gary Beauvais, and his team. We all have shared a lot of ideas on how to do these meetings. Carrie Bennett is our facilitator this afternoon. She'll be joining us shortly for our workshop. The conference services here, as all of you can attest, do a remarkable job. Thank you all so much. All of our students, our donors, and of course you, who are what make this meeting happen. Thank you so much for being here. Partners meeting is a biennial tradition here at CNHP. We started doing these in 2014 and are thrilled to be doing it again. The purposes of the meeting are to connect the key members of our conservation community, provide a forum for communication across all of us. I know many of us feel very siloed in our jobs, and this isn't intended to break down those silos and bring us all together, and thereby enhance our collective effectiveness in working together to achieve big goals. We're going to highlight successes and important developments that are happening now today for everyone to know about, and think about the priorities that we can address together and how we can collaborate on that. And we're also going to have a few celebrations. Really important one here is the 125th anniversary of Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Happy birthday, CPW. That's totally amazing. I also want to celebrate the fact that we have launched Codex. We have entered a new and modern age here at CNHP, about which we're thrilled. We have many of you to thank for that success. And so we have a little segment in the after lunch section to talk about that a little bit. Also wanted to celebrate that March is Women's History Month. And Colorado has been a home to some of America's most amazing female naturalists. And it is a place where women are a dominant part of the narrative of discovery and leadership and conservation. I think we should all be proud of that in Colorado. Tuesday was also International Women's Day, and this year it focused on the contribution of women and girls towards climate solutions. So I think we can celebrate all of the contributions that the incredible women on our staff and our partner staffs have made towards this end. So thank you. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Couple words about our program so everyone knows how we're wired up. We're part of the of Colorado State University and are a department in the Warner College of Natural Resources. There are quite a few other units in the Warner College, including CFRI, Colorado State Forest Service, CCC, CIML, Larval Fish Lab, and there's also a lot of units outside of CSU, like the CSU Herbarium and the Public Lands History Center with whom we work. And it's really easy for all of us to collaborate within CSU. So the opportunities to work with us extend to a much larger network of other programs. And we're also Colorado's constituent member of the NatureServe Network. So we are in charge of the conservation data services delivered through the NatureServe Network for Colorado. So we are finishing up a strategic plan right now. We've just evaluated our success in completing it, and we've started working on a new one. And so you are going to be seeing a lot of the priorities that emerged today in our new strategic plan. I do like to offer our mission statement in limerick form. The CNHP's mission is, in this state, rare species abound. You'll see them when you look around. In squishy wet places and lofty cliff faces, diversity you will expound. I have another one for you at the end. Our real mission is that we advance conservation, we advance the conservation of Colorado's native species and ecosystems through science, planning, and education for the benefit of current and future generations. So all of our achievements in science and convening roles have been done with you. The biggest things that this program has ever achieved all have been through partnerships with diverse and varied goals and intentions. And so this partners meeting celebrates those partnerships and is meaning to help propel us forward in these successes with you. I wanted to give you a quick little overview of where we're at funding-wise. We've really been doing great funding-wise. That continues to increase. Shown here also are our gifts and services. The services include most of the data development money from statewide data sets that many of you are working with us under data license agreements to have. And the gifts fund our internship program, and there's also some other really important unrestricted gifts to the program. And so these are a relatively small part of our budget, but are of extremely disproportionate importance in the work that we do because they enable a lot of the core mission parts of what we do. These are the statewide data partnerships that we are engaged in right now. Totaling about $122,000 worth of data support. Through these partnerships, we are improving the biotics data that are at the core of what the program provides to support conservation. Each one of these partnerships is doing much more than just helping that particular agency. It's elevating the quality and standards of those data across all of the disciplines and throughout the entire state. So they're super important. We are one of 12 heritage programs based in a university. Most others are part of a fish and game or a DNR in their states. We are entirely soft-funded through grants, projects, donations, and we have a really small amount of dedicated annual core funding. Pretty much all of that comes from the Nature Conservancy and from the Warner College of Natural Resources. So we have lofty ambitions to fix that problem and put a stronger funding base under this program. And once as we do that, we intend to massively expand the data and services that we provide. You're already seeing some of that emerging through Codex and COMAP. I encourage all of you to look at the websites for the Montana Natural Heritage Program and the Wyoming Natural Diversity Database. They have core funding, and they have done amazing things with that core funding from their legislatures and their partners to elevate the services and the quality of their data, tracking a much wider range of species through that. We're going to maintain and enhance the data with core funding, conduct investigations of priority species, landscapes, and systems, expand the support for climate change management that we provide as that grows in importance. We would like to host an interagency wetland council for Colorado. We are really excited to create special reports, including an annual State of the State report for Colorado's conservation. We plan to make maps and conduct analyses for all sorts of partners throughout the state, especially ones that are not funding those efforts now, sort of the political realm, municipalities and counties. And we need support for our core leadership team. We don't have any base funding that supports what they do now. That all has to come from other sources. So except for the bits of core funding that we get from the Nature Conservancy and the Warner College of Natural Resources. So all of this is going to help us to deliver on statewide planning efforts, including the 30 by 30, about which Vanessa Mazal is going to speak this afternoon. We're all super excited about that. And so we want to hear your ideas. So we've set ourselves up here to capture those. When you feel a moment of inspiration, we have some stuff on the table and in the back. I'm going to let Andrea say a word about what we got going on, and then we're going to hand it over to John Hayes. Here, talk in this.
Okay. So on everyone's table is a little sheet with the same questions we asked 2 years ago, right? So part of what we do is monitoring trends with CNHP. And so that includes trends in your responses to these questions. So on behalf of yourself or your organization, please use the cards on the table and respond to these questions, and then you can share them in the back of the room, okay?
Thank you, Andrea.
Thanks.
We just can't not be ecologists. We just
Yeah,
have
that's
to do
right.
it that way. So I'm going to invite Dr. John Hayes up to the podium here. Thank you so much, John.
Thanks, Dave. Well, welcome to you all. You know, there's kind of an academic tradition where deans get invited to give welcomes to these things, and I've always kind of scratched my head as to why that's the case. And then Dave started talking about really wanting to increase base funding, and it all became clear to me why I was really invited here today. But seriously, thank you all for being here and welcome. It's great to see you all here. I do want to start out by thanking Dave and CNHP for all, not just for this event, but for all the tremendous work that you do. You know, I'm proud of the fact that we have CNHP here in the Warner College and at Colorado State University. And this sounds highly self-serving, but I really do sincerely believe that CNHP is one of, if not the best natural heritage programs in the country. And so we're so fortunate to have it here in Colorado. Also wanted to recognize the fact that, as Dave pointed out, there's lots of resources here in the room. We have lots of resources in the college, and there's a number of folks from other programs that are here from Warner College, and I'm not gonna recognize them all, but I do wanna shine the light on one individual here today, in part because we're so fortunate to have I'm gonna say brand new, that may not be completely true, but a very new state forester, Matt McCombs. Matt, you wanna stand up and be recognized here? Matt, it's great to have you here. Matt and I have talked a fair amount over the last few weeks, and Matt's expressed a really strong interest in building partnerships and collaborations. And so I really encourage you all to take a minute to introduce yourself to Matt at some point during the day and explore how we can partner better. Yeah, on one level, this feels so normal to be in front of a group like this and interacting in this sort of a forum. But it's been a long time since we've done this, and as Dave said, it's been almost exactly 2 years. And in fact, it was just almost exactly 2 years ago that I gave a welcome at the Center for Collaborative Conservation meeting. And that was also, I think, the last time I wore this jacket. And so it's great to get back to a sense of normalcy here. I take the privilege of being able to give a welcome. I take it seriously, and I always try to do two things. And I'm not going to claim that I succeed in either, but the first is that I do want to express my appreciation to all of you for taking the time to be here and to recognize the value that you all bring to everything you do. And the other is I try to do something that may provide some small amount of value to your meeting. And again, I'm not at all confident that I'm successful in doing that, but let me suggest or share with you a couple lessons that I've learned. One of them from the pandemic, and another maybe a bit more of a lesson that I've learned over the last few years, especially in the leadership roles I played. And with respect to the pandemic, uncertainty is huge, and we really got to embrace the moment when it comes. And this is one of those moments for you all. So I really encourage you to step out, take that extra little effort to connect with one another. We're so fortunate to be here today in this sort of forum. I'm hopeful that this is a return to normalcy, but we'll see what the virus has in store for us. So take advantage of this time while you're here. And the second thing that I've learned to do when I attend and participate in meetings like this is take a look around the room, see who's here, see the breadth of the programs and the people that are present, but also do it with an eye toward who's not at the table today and who's not at the table in all of the meetings or many of the meetings that we participate, and think about what we can do to make those connections and to bring those folks to the table and to share our opportunities more broadly. A long time ago, I started to go to meeting after meeting like this, and in my classroom connections and all, and it became very clear to me that we're connecting with a very small part of the demographic of a rapidly changing demographic in our nation. And that worries me. It worries me for lots of reasons. I mean, there's basic social justice issues that are engaged with that, but probably more importantly, from a disciplinary perspective, if we're going to be successful in our mission, we need to have the support and engagement and ideas from a much broader segment of society than we're seeing today. So I'd encourage you in this meeting to think about this. If I may be so bold, I'll suggest maybe you could add another question to your list that's at your tables. What can we do to create a more inclusive environment within our programs to bring those other individuals to the table? What can we do to better understand the needs of underserved populations and to move our programs in a way that addresses the full breadth of needs of our society? Might give it some thought. I wasn't given permission to add another question, but I'm the dean, right? So that's the type of thing we do. So with that, thanks again for being here. Thanks for all you do for CNHP, for the partnership you do, for all you do for conservation and for our planet and our country and our people and more. So Great to see you, and hope you have a great meeting.
Thank you so much, John. That's an excellent question to add. Thank you very much for that. Well, let's go ahead to our next segment here. I'm going to go ahead and ask the CNHP staff to stand up and just so you can see them. I wanted to say a word about this photograph here. It's really out of date. We haven't been able to update it due to global events that we've all encountered the last couple of years here. And it's also out of date because we've had a few retirements in the program. Karen Decker just retired last month. Denise Culver has just retired, and Renee Rondeau retired. But actually, this is the facts here. They all come back. Karen says she's retired, but and Denise is kind of retired, and Renee's really actually not retired. She has some slides in this presentation. So, but I thought with this we could start our introduction around the room, and maybe the best way to do that might be to just go table by table, and I guess CNHP people can sit down, and then when you stand up, you can introduce yourselves. And so let's go ahead and start at this table. And go ahead and stand up and please say your name and your affiliation. And we'll just kind of hustle through the room here.
Michael Menifee, Environmental Review at Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Here, John's good.
Amy Greenwell with Conservation Data Services.
Hi again, Anessa Keys, work study student at CNHP.
Savannah Smith, I'm with the botany team at the Natural Heritage Program. Raquel Wurtzbach, I'm the coordinator of the Colorado Natural Areas Program with Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
Lucy Haggard, I'm doing volunteer and outreach help for the Natural Areas Program at CPW.
I'm going to ask that we take a quick pause here for a moment. I forgot to ask all of the online people to, the conference services folks are going to show the chat for us on the screen, and we'll ask all of you to go ahead and do the same thing in the chat on Zoom to put your, just tell us your name and your affiliation in the chat. And then everyone will be able to see you introducing yourselves as we go around the room.
Hi, I'm Susan Punjabi, botanist with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Hi, I'm Camden Ronning. I'm a first-year FWC student here at CSU, working with Ray Aberly.
And I'm Ray Aberly, Private Lands Program Manager for Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
I'm Tina Jackson, Species Conservation Coordinator with Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dave Clute. I supervise the Species Conservation Unit for Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
Hi, I'm Linda LaDove. I'm Director of Membership and Communications for Keep It Colorado.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brendan Bopel. I'm the Director of Additive Conservation for the Colorado Cattlemen's Agricultural Land Trust.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Painter. I'm a biologist for the Forest Service on the Pike National Forest out of Conifer.
Morning, everyone. I'm Rob Shore. I'm a zoologist with the Natural Heritage Program.
While Rob takes the mic over, I'm going to ask everyone to pay attention to everyone introducing themselves and look at the person that you've been emailing with for 5 years and and never actually met in person, and make a point of meeting them during the break or lunch or something.
I might be one of them. I'm Aaron Eilers. I'm with the Army Corps of Engineers.
I'm Keith Schultz. I guess currently unaffiliated, but I was a former CNHP and NatureServe and CMOL employee. So.
Terry Schultz, the Nature Conservancy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Cindy Lair. I'm the Program Manager for the Colorado State Conservation Board at the Colorado Department of Agriculture.
Kristen Boyson, Colorado Department of Agriculture. I'm the Drought and Climate Specialist.
Hi, I'm Drew Rayburn. I'm the Director of Science and Planning for TNC in Colorado.
Okay, I'm Carol Dawson. I'm the Threatened and Endangered Species Program Lead and the Botany Program Coordinator at the Colorado State Office of the Bureau of Land Management. Oh, sorry, I almost said something wrong.
Oh, I'm going to ask everyone to, if you hold the mic up pretty close right in front of your mouth, they'll hear it online.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jay Thompson. I'm the Fisheries and Riparian Program Lead for BLM at the Colorado State Office in Lakewood.
I'm Jenny Neal. I'm the Director of Research and Conservation at Denver Botanic Gardens.
I'm Becky Heft. I'm the Associate Director of Applied Conservation at Denver Botanic Gardens.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Bates. I'm the Forest Plant Ecologist for the Arapahoe-Roosevelt National Forest and Pawnee National Grassland.
Hello, I'm Mike Sherman at Colorado Parks and Wildlife, wildlife biologist out of Fort Collins.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sonia Chavez. I'm the General Manager of the Upper Gunnison River Water Conservancy District.
Good morning. I am Cheryl Swellick, and I am the Watershed Program Coordinator at the Upper Gunnison River Water Conservancy District.
I'm Alex Binsfeld. I'm an aquatic ecologist with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
I'm Ruth Whittington. I'm on the wetlands team at CNHP.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexa Armstrong, and I'm on the wetland team at CNHP.
Hi, everybody. I'm Maddie Mason. I'm a student here at CSU studying environmental economics. I'm working on my thesis with Andy Seidel.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm Andy Seidel, a professor of environmental economics, Department of Ag and Resource Economics at your Colorado State University.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Brandt. I'm the Stewardship Trust Manager for the Colorado State Land Board.
Hi, I'm Dina Clark. I manage the herbarium at the CU Museum of Natural History.
Hi, Lindsay Reynolds. I'm a riparian ecologist at the Bureau of Land Management National Operations Center.
Hi, I am John Sobel. I am a zoologist at the Heritage Program.
Good morning. My name is Christian Nunes. I'm a wildlife ecologist for the City of Boulder Open Space and Mountain Parks Department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joanna Lemley, wetland ecologist with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Good morning, everyone. Sarah Marshall with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program, and I am an eco-hydrologist with the wetland team.
I'm Paige Weil. I work for Linker Technologies. We're a consulting company, and I'm a water resources, climate, and remote sensing scientist. I'm a little sick, but I've already had COVID, so we're safe.
Good morning. I'm Rachel Beloin. I'm Program Manager for Southern Plains and Grasslands for Bird Conservancy of the Rockies.
I'm Kelsey Holloway. I'm a partners biologist with U.S. Fish and Wildlife's Partners Program.
Again, I'm Matt McCombs. I'm the Director of the Colorado State Forest Service and your State Forester.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ella Samuel, and I'm a research ecologist with the USGS.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Meineke. I'm a biologist also at USGS.
Good morning. I am Lee Grinnell. I am with Conservation Planning Team at Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Good morning. Andrea Schumann, a zoologist and ecologist with the Natural Heritage Program. And I also wanted to thank Dr. Hayes for adding the question of inclusion. So we would love to hear comments on that. And it wouldn't be a true trend study if we didn't change the questions along the way, right? So.
I'm Jessica Smith. I'm the Vegetation Ecology Botany Team Lead here at CNHP.
I'm Shai Fulmer. I work with Arapahoe County Open Spaces in the Water Resources Program.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanner Marshall. I'm a natural resource specialist with Jefferson County Open Space.
Morning, everyone. Tony Chapa, Director of the Center for Environmental Management of Military Lands in the WCNR.
Good morning. I'm Kate Dwyer. I'm a research ecologist with the U.S. Forest Service, Rocky Mountain Research Station here in Fort Collins.
Morning, I'm Jeremy Seamers. I'm a zoology team leader with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Good morning, I'm Tom Baldwins. I'm an ecologist with Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Hi, I'm Pam Smith. I'm a botanist and ecologist with the Colorado Natural Heritage Program.
Hello, my name is Becky Pierce, and I manage the wetland program for the Colorado Department of Transportation.
Hi, I'm Emma Balanik, and I'm on the botany team at CNHP.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ackerfield, and I'm the head curator of natural history collections at Denver Botanic Gardens.
Hi, I'm Aaron Meyer, the City of Fort Collins wildlife ecologist.
Hi, I'm Crystal Strauss. I am the botanist for the City of Fort Collins Natural Areas Department.
Good morning. My name is Aaron Green. I'm a former student employee of CNHP, and my day job now is the Associate Director of Forestry Services for the Colorado State Forest Service.
Good morning. My name is Christine Newton. I'm a conservation agronomist with the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Hi, my name is Matt Schultz. I'm the Forest Management Coordinator for Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
Hi, good morning. Amanda West Fordham, Associate Director of the Science and Data Division at the Colorado State Forest Service.
Hi, Nicholas Kalinsky, the Geospatial Program Manager with the Colorado State Forest Service.
Wonderful to see you all, and I hope you all have your marks set for the breaks and lunch of people that you know you need to meet. You know, I love doing this, seeing physically who all of us are. I want to thank everybody online for introducing themselves in our chat. We'll have that as part of our recorded information for the meeting too, to help us expand our social networks. And I love to think about social networks, and it really is the reason we're doing this, is to you know, the knowledge that our effectiveness is enhanced by having more personal connections ourselves, and that the size of our personal network makes a huge difference in our impact in our work. So I have been thinking about this social network diagram, which all displays weak social networks, and thinking about the independent one in the context of the pandemic. I think many of us working in our basements kind of feel that way right now, and I think as Dean Hayes said, that this is a wonderful opportunity to change that and reform our connections. So the goal of this meeting is to go from a weak network to a very strong network. So I challenge all of you to add another line in your social network diagram today, somehow form another connection. And we've tried to leave you plenty of time to make sure that that happens. I'm going to acknowledge a few more people here, and then we're going to go on to our program updates. I wanted to acknowledge our Linda Hamilton Conserving Colorado Award scholars in the program that's funded by a generous donation from Linda Hamilton. We've had lots of exciting work with honors students through this program. I'm going to introduce you to our Sigli Conservation Science interns. This is our 2020 cohort. This was in May of 2020 when things were still totally weird with hanging out together. So we took this picture spaced all apart because we weren't going within 6 feet of each other at that time. In 2021, we have a much larger cohort. Our donors decided to increase the size of the program to 12. So we had 12 funded interns last year. Absolutely wonderful folks, as well as an honorary intern, Andrea's daughters here in the picture came out with us, as well as Rachel Jackson, who has also been working in our office for a few years. We've had a lot of service learners at the program doing all sorts of really wonderful projects with us, mostly through the ESS 440 and ESS 501 classes in the college. We also have another slide that won't go. Would you guys back there toggle it one slide forward there? Okay, it might be up to you guys to advance the slides now. We depend on our volunteers to get our work done. And so we honor Volunteer of the Year each year. These are our Volunteers of the Year for 2020. Chuck Harp, Mike Honing, who's Sarah's husband, and Gordon Rada, who's Renee's husband. 2021, they were Dina Clark, Audrey Boag, and Ernie Marks. Okay, I'm gonna go over a little here. We don't get to see people enough, so I did bring Dina's award here to give you. Would you come up here for a second? Let's. I did not warn Dina about this, but I wanted to give you your Volunteer of the Year award.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what? Yes, I'm a hugger. Thank you, Dina.